What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. You guys, we've done it. We found our low. We hit 485. That was the target area, right? I forget what the exact numbers were, but it was something like 475 to 490, something like that, right? We did it. We hit the low. It happened fast, it happened loud, and it happened without volume. All the things that we love, man. Because anytime you get a pullback, right? Do you want a pullback that's like this? Do you want to pull back like this that takes a whole lot of time, or do you just want it to be short and sweet and be over, right? And I mean, I suppose to be completely fair, this is a pretty short and sweet pullback there. It just wasn't over, right? But in these upward moves, right? In these upward moves, you want these pullbacks to be short and sweet. You don't want them to be long and drawn out, right? And I think that's what we got here, man. That volume dying off as we're moving up. I mean, it's beautiful. Yes, your volume died off as you're moving higher, but it died off even more as you sold off dramatically. So I very much do believe we found our low. If not, we're close as hell to it. But I think that was it. I think we're moving higher, right? We're getting geared up and set up to move higher. I would expect we have 4 days and 18 hours left in this week. I would expect we slowly work our way back up. We probably close this week above 560 bucks. I don't know if we close this week above 600 bucks, but I would assume next week we do, right? I think this week, if it doesn't close green, likely in my opinion, what it would do is it closes red, like a red doji. It closes with a little bit of a body, or no body at all, or a barely green body. One of those threes, right? But very very big wick is what I'm thinking. So over the next 4 or 5 days, we'll probably just slowly work our way up, and then going into Christmas week, we'll probably work our way up to this high, maybe consolidate around it. Who knows? I should say the week before Christmas, not Christmas week, but the week before Christmas. And then around the 18th, 19th, 20th, whatever, we explode, we get ready, we go to the next target area. Where's the next target area? I'm glad you asked. I'm really glad you asked, because the next target area is after this 886, right? We hit the 886, rejected the 886, pulled all the way back down to the 618. It's a very classic kind of maneuver, actually. The next target area is $936. And after that, it's $1,073 and then $1,300, right? This whole area is like your next target area. And we'd likely see that by the end of this year, right? If we were to see higher targets, specifically this $1,300 target to $1,900 target, if we were to see those targets, those would likely come in January, is my thoughts. And I do believe we're going to see those targets. I've told you guys my reasons for that, but I know I have a lot of new subscribers. Shout out to the new subscribers out there. Shout out to the old subscribers and all the ones in between. I appreciate you all very much. Thank you for being here. But the reason why I think we could see those high targets of $1,900, $1,700, $2,000 by the end of January is if we take the high to low here, right? All we're gonna do is we're gonna take every consolidation phase Bitcoin Cash has had since the end of the bear cycle, going through to this bull cycle now. So high, I think it's no dispute that this is the high of this consolidation phase down here. That's the high, right? You can see it. That's the low. High to low. Okay, so high to low fib. Your next move, your bullish move that you had up here that you broke out, you went all the way up to your 1886 200 level, the 2 to the 1886 right there. You tipped just above the 200. Okay, so that was the high to the low of this consolidation phase. Now we'll take the high to the low of the next consolidation phase, and you guessed it, the next high actually went just above the 200 level again. Okay, so we did that twice. All I'm saying is if we've done it twice before, if that's what the style has been this whole bull cycle, why can't we do it again? And if we do it again, that $1,900, that's the 200 level. We've gone just above it the last 2 times. Why can't we go potentially to $2,000 by the end of this move, by the end of January? I think we can. I really think we can. There's some people out there who provide very, very good feedback and opinions, very logical reasoning that would argue that we won't see that kind of move because, you know, in the same kind of comparison through a different perspective, if we compare the moves themselves from a low to a high, that was 263%. We'll just save that. We'll move it over. Oh, I gotta move this over. We're in critical danger of losing the computer. There we go. Just charged it. It's perfect. We'll move this over here. Okay, perfect. That was that move. I'm not going to measure from the low to the high of this move. I'm just going to take the low here to the high there. So that was that move, right? I think pretty fair to say. So 263 and 207%, one of those two. If we were to move the same, and again, I'm not going to take this low here, but I think I'll take this low as the beginning of the move. If we were to move the same, 207% would take us as high as $991. I'll just put a line there. That's 207%. If we were to move 263%, that would take us up as high as, come on now, buddy, right there, $1,170, right? Some people might say because, if we're basing it off of our previous moves, these are the moves that we've seen so far, it would make more sense to base it off of this, and then this is the given range we have. Well, if we put our fibs here from a high to a low, it makes some sense, right? You're very close to your 1272, you're very close to your 1618, and your 1414 is right smack dab in the middle there. It would make that's a good argument as to why we might not see the 1886 to the 200 level. But now I respond with another argument, right? Here's my argument to that argument, okay? And you already know where I'm going. It's not fair. I know it's not fair, but it's what I got, man. So I'm gonna throw it at you. We go on a monthly basis. We pull up our indicators. No, we pull up our templates. We go to the exponential ribbon, and we pull up the log function here, right? We zoom in, and we can see that we have the monthly ribbon crossing bullishly. You guys, this is in unbelievably, absolutely astounding bullish moment that we're having right now, right? This kind of stuff happens, I mean, literally once in what, 3 cycles? Because that's at this rate, that's how long it's taken for this to happen, right? Some charts you never even get a bullish, like Bitcoin itself, it's never had a bearish cross, so it's never had a bullish cross. It just remains bullish, which that's the preferred method, of course. But these bullish crosses on any time frame are phenomenal, especially on the monthly, man. The monthly time frame, this is very, very bullish, right? It looks like a bearish month right now, but I'm telling you, I think we've already found our low. I think this month will close not just green, but it'll close above this. It'll close above this high, right? A lot higher. This ribbon will get a lot more separation. We have a lot of time left in the month, 20 days, 18 hours left to tell, but it does look good. Weekly looks good as well. But beyond that, to argue why I think this move, that the whole reason I'm talking about this is these moves here pumped into the ribbon, pumped away from the ribbon while the ribbon was still, it was contracting. It's really hard to grow while your ribbon's contracting, especially bearishly like this, right? But you did it, but you pulled all the way back to it, right? You didn't have the bullish cross on either of those moves up. So my theory is bullish cross means bigger move. That's my theory. That's kind of my theory, bigger move. Pair that with the fact that, and I'm going to delete all this and we'll bring it back, with the fact that if and when we do close this month green and get above these highs, we'll also be breaking above this very long trend we've had. It's literally the 3rd cycle that we've been beneath this trend line. We've already pierced above it for the first time ever in this thing's history. We did that recently, right, with this recent high that we had. When we close above this, we've got in tandem this monthly cross on the EMA ribbon alongside with a very significant multi-cycle resistance line, trend line coming down that will have broken above for the first time in Bitcoin Cash's history, right? I would expect, and neither of these moves had that happen, right? I would expect both of these extraordinarily bullish events is what they are, and no less. I would expect that they do promote growth that is larger than anything that we've seen so far this cycle. That's my perspective. That's my argument to, these white lines here that we derived from the potential growths that we've seen already this cycle, right? That's my argument to that. Also, if we look at the monthly time frame here on this RSI, I kind of like the color. It's different. It's a fresh perspective. I feel kind of tropical. I don't know. It reminds me of Fuji, Old Spice. But with this bounce off the 50, right? You had a bounce off the 50 here, okay? You had a bounce here, but it took you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months to get things going. We bounced off the 50 here. Really, it took us less than half the time last time to get going. We're already up higher in a shorter amount of time than we were last time. My theory is this monthly RSI by the end of this move will also be higher. If it's going to be higher, potentially than anything else that we've ever seen in this thing's history, we just might see a move that is bigger than any of the moves that we've seen so far in its history, or more specifically, this cycle. So I really do mean it whenever I say that by the end of this move, we could be at $1,900 to $2,000. I just think it might come a month later than I've been expecting this whole year. Those targets might be reserved for January times, and that's okay. At any rate, guys, I think I've said everything I need to say. One last shout out to the Dragon Riders. Thank you all for being here. Looks like we're moving up, guys. You know the game plan. Buy, hold, buy some more. And we don't laugh, man. We don't laugh at the people that sell. We feel bad for them, right? We say a little prayer. We hope that we wish them the best, and we feel bad because we don't want to see people losing money, man. We want people to get in on these riches with us. We want to see people rise to the land of $2,000 with us on this ride. We're at $519, you guys. We're going to see a lot of growth. Mark my words, along with everything else I've said in this video, the biggest thing, it might be even larger than anything else that I've said in this video, the biggest deal for Bitcoin Cash is going to happen when we get this move. The biggest thing that's going to stand out for Bitcoin Cash is that the rest of it, mark my words, man, it'll be the first time you see the market talking about Bitcoin Cash regularly. It's not going to be the scam coin. It's not going to be the off-brand wannabe Bitcoin, Roger Ver coin. It's not going to be that anymore. All of that, you guys, is about to dissolve, and it'll always be there. That stigma will always be there, right? It's always going to be there. It's like Dogecoin and Shiba, right? They've got the because Shiba is supposed to be the Dogecoin killer, or Neo with Ethereum, though nobody probably knows what I'm talking about whenever it comes to Neo. I'm just saying the narrative is going to change, and this is what it's going to take. It's not a small order. It's some big shit that's happening, guys. It's some very, very big shit that's about to go down and break. And the biggest thing is what's going to happen because of it. It's going to be, I think we will see people talking about Bitcoin Cash the same way they talk about any coin that pumps, right? Because when Bitcoin Cash was having its pumps last cycle, whenever it did phenomenal, whenever it was the top of the leaderboards day after day or week after week, at times, not the whole cycle, but at times, it never got any attention. People laughed at it. They would just glaze over it. They talk about the one next to it, right? That was lower. They didn't see as much growth. They wouldn't talk about Bitcoin Cash. But now it's different, man. Things are different. Things are different, and all it's going to take is for it to prove that it's different. And we're at that cusp right now. It's about to happen, man. So if you want to be a part of what I think is literal history taking place, right? The renewal of faith and hope across the crypto space as a whole in Bitcoin Cash. If you want to be a part of that, now's your time to buy. Okay? Don't sell. Wait. Just wait. I got nothing else to tell you guys. Hit that like button, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.